Hi, so today somebody sent me um, a message saying that something's wrong with the code for the repo. So the first thing I usually like to do is that I have a certain steps that I follow to debug code, and in this video I'm going to show you that, and you can use that method for debugging future VedAstro related code as well. All right, so let's get started. So let's take a look at what the error is. Okay, so from what I can read here from the messages that I got, it seems that there's a little problem with the method called destiny point in the calculate in the calculate class right there. All right, so what I'm going to do is actually quite simple. So I'm just going to open up the repo. I already found the destiny point, the method that's causing the problem. Okay, so the first obvious thing, not so obvious thing, I guess, that we should do when debugging a method, regardless of whatever the problem is, like the protocol, so to say, is to create a test point. Simple as that, a test point, a test method. So you don't have to run the whole function so I'm going to create a unit test here. This is if the test method hasn't been created yet. So where the test method's living, they are living in this little, so I'm going to open this, collapse it. They're living in this little project called library test. So this project right here contains all the um, test code for the rest of the project. So I'm going to head back over to my code just now where I left off. Okay, so let's say right now let's get back to where we were before. So we have a code that's faulty right here. So we have identified the method that's this method. So I'm going to come over to this method, and I know for a fact that I don't have a test method for this. All right, if I did, it should show up or something like that. It should be like an icon here, but I know I don't have one. If you're not sure, like I said, go into this little guy here, and you can check it out if you have one. But if you don't, it's okay. Just go ahead, right click here and you click create unit tests. So that's going to open up this little window and pretty much leave it as it is. It goes automatically to the test project. New test file, no. Let's just put it under calculator. All right, because that's what it is. It's just been, the name has been changed. Other than that, that's fine. Okay, so it's just going to add the word test at back of the method calculate. I mean, whatever the calculate method is. All right, so okay, there we go. So now that I'm here in the test code, so look where I am right now. So I'm in right there. Yeah, that file. So I'm in library test. So from library, I've just been pushed to this little file here with the test code. So I can run the test code without anything. So usually what's the problem is, let's say I want to test this code, I'm running it from another function, I'm running it from APIs. There's a lot of complicated logic going on. So basically what I'm trying to say is, this is a simple method whereby you only test out the logic of this particular function without, so basically you can really truly test this function without the possibility of it being accidentally wrongly tested because of some other variable that this method is being called from. you know all right, so let's call this method. So in order to call this method, we have to uh, let's just make a variable. Let's put an x. We know it's in the calculate class. We know it's something called destiny point. There you go. So we need a couple of variables for this. We need time. So I have a couple of time constants up here that ready to go. These are from the books. So for instance, let me go. We have a standard time constant. Let's take that. I mean, we don't have to take the whole thing. We just need a standard. Or let's go the name. Bottom right there. So destiny points. We need time. So we just say standard horoscope. What else we need? We need zodiac name. All right. So zodiac name Pisces. Okay, this is the test case. Rahu. So planet name Rahu, planet name Moon. That doesn't make sense. All right. So I mean, if it's planet name Rahu, it should be planet name 1, planet name 2, or something like that. Okay, so this needs further testing. So for now, let me just put it in as planet. It's asking for a planet name, so I'm just gonna put in a planet. So I'm just gonna say, let's just say for convenience sake, we just put there Rahu and Moon. You know, planet name. There we go. Okay, so that should create. So that's it. So basically, got let's just call the result test result. Now, so if you give it a little bit of time, you'll get this little icon here that says you can run tests, or you can go into the test explorer, find the test that you just made, right, and right click and run debug. Now, one more thing just before I click on this is that make sure you have .NET 7 already installed and ready to go. Otherwise this won't work. Okay, so debug. So let's run. Before I click on debug, there's a difference here. Run just runs the test without stopping the code, and debug actually stops the code at a breakpoint. So which I want to do because I don't know what's inside test result yet. So I'm just gonna put a breakpoint here, maybe here as well, and run the test. So open Test Explorer, find the test I want, right click and hit debug. So there you go, it has stopped the code. So look at that. So the main point of this video is for me to highlight to you that how you can test a particular function without messing around with other code. I mean, you can focus test, so to say, a particular method. And so let's see what data we have in here. Okay, so test result says 11. So calculations is fine. And so far at least step one is done. So the next step, at least the function we know for now, the function executes fine. The next step would be to dig in deeper and see where the problem really lies. So this is a good first step always to do. So later on, as I go into the function, for instance, if I come into the function here, VedAstro, if I go to the function here and I put a little breakpoint, I can also fix the method, whatever is wrong here, I can fix it and then I can go back here and run the test again. So that's the main point of creating a test is that, oh look, there's a little icon here that says how many of the tests are passing. So what I'm trying to say is the first step always to debugging any problem with the VedAstro code or any code that you have might have is to create a test code. I mean a test, yeah, basically a test method to test the code. And from then on, you can work your step by step process to find out where the particular problem may lie.